right, moving on. Let's talk about Kobe's legacy and influence on the game of basketball and the NBA culture. So, Erwin, what's your take on his legacy and his impact and influence? How would you, what's your take on that?
Arguably, you know, whether he died or not, I would say arguably you can make a very strong argument that Kobe is a top five player overall. Best player in the NBA. I would place him probably maybe behind NJ,
Okay.
possibly. And you're already seeing the immense impact that Kobe has had throughout the NBA community. Through an unfortunate event, through his death. I remember earlier on today, I was having a conversation with somebody saying like, dude, I'm not even a sports fan, and I know who Kobe is. And going through Twitter, people that are in Europe, in remote parts of Europe, in Germany, that nobody picks up a basketball yet. They know who Kobe Bryant is.
Yeah.
With the impact that he has on a global scale, on what he has, and it does help out that Kobe starred, in arguably the most in the most starred franchise ever, the
True.
Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah. Most popular basketball franchise.
Most popular, yeah, most storied franchise ever in the NBA, arguably. Right
No,
there.
it is. It is.
It is.
It
Yes.
is.
And even going with the Mount Rushmore, of the Lakers over on the NBA, Kobe's arguably top five.
Oh yeah, yeah. Not even arguably. He's for sure. And
Yeah.
the Lakers, for sure.
Yeah, for sure, top five.
Some say he's the greatest Laker of all time,
you
which
could
I would debate it between him and Magic.
Yeah, you can make an argument, for Kobe, five-time champion, the amount of scoring that he's done, you know, this,
Closest to reach Wilt's 100-point game.
yeah, close as 81 point. It's done a lot of stuff. It's like, needless to say, it's already out there. But what do you think, Andrade?
Man, I think a lot.
We could see that.
Kobe, all right, Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron. That's it. Like those are the three most influential. Besides Kobe, Magic, and Bird, we'll put that aside for another convo. But Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron are the most influential players of the NBA ever, because Jordan helped expand the game after Bird and Magic revived it, and the game of the NBA and basketball. But Kobe, I'll get into his basketball game more later. But Kobe helped grow that brand a lot because he was the one that seized the opportunity in China. When you Google Kobe Bryant, you'll see that he has such a massive impact on the Chinese market before anyone else took those first steps, before even Jordan. Kobe is the reason that basketball is such a huge thing in China. Like, this is a fact, and it's crazy when you look at the numbers and the years and the historic data. So that is a massive thing why I praise his legacy for the NBA. Like, he deserves it. He helped grow the game in the same level that LeBron and Jordan did. And not just being a Laker, but him penetrating that market, because now China literally provides more money to the NBA than the world.
Now, while Kobe, did do that, the emergence of Yao Ming actually helped out, as well.
Oh yeah, yeah,
China.
for sure. Nah, no one can take that away. For sure, yeah. What? But like, nah, it's no. If you look it up, Kobe was the first one that, or at least for sure, the first American. But if I remember correctly, the first one that took his shoes and his merch and his apparel, his brand, into that market and just started pushing it in either the late 90s or early 2000s.
Facts.
And then that's why Kobe Bryant is such a huge, like, if you go to China, I've read that he's legit treated like a god in that country, and that is insane. And then
And Kobe, was able, just to bounce back on your points, is after MJ, after Magic and Bird,
Yeah.
in the 80s, We had MJ in the 90s. Kobe was able to successfully, get
transition that torch.
that torch from MJ to Kobe,
Yeah.
smoothly.
Facts. All right, so continue with Kobe's legacy. Do you remember where I stopped, cut off? I'm not. Oh,
So
the China
okay,
market.
so I wanted to say is that yeah, China market. Kobe, I guess, started that per se. The
Yeah, yeah.
expansion of the NBA in China.
Look it up on guys. Like look it up on Business Insider. Look it up on Forbes. Like this has been covered for a while now.
Obviously, it was expedited, by Yao Ming, emergence.
Yeah.
But it really helped Kobe. I mean, Kobe out. Where Kobe really helped out the NBA per se was when Michael Jordan retired. For the second time, after they beat the Jazz. There was kind of like a void. Kind of like similar.
Yeah, there was a worry like who's gonna carry that.
Who's
Who's gonna be the next spokesperson basically for the NBA?
Who's gonna carry that? And obviously, Kobe, carried that torch, till the time that LeBron, D Wade, and the next wave of stars for that generation emerged.
Yeah.
But to go on your point,
Which is and that's basically what's happening right now with LeBron too. But all right, going back to his legacy. So that all right, in terms of growing the NBA, that's something that I want to point out because it was huge. Then there's the fact before I even get back into the basketball, how you were saying earlier, the whole cultural thing of like every time you shoot anything, like any piece of garbage, any roll of paper, whatever it is, the thing to say is Kobe. You don't say Jordan, who's regarded as usually the best basketball player of all time. You don't say Magic. You don't say Bird. You don't say LeBron. You don't say Kareem. You say Kobe. And I'm not gonna lie, linguistically speaking, I think his name did help with that, but it's also his game. And I think also because he's so one move that's very popular with Kobe is the fadeaway jumper. You feel me? And like that thing, that shooting whatever you throw into a garbage, or just that basketball move shouting Kobe, is so much bigger than the NBA and basketball itself, that like people that don't even follow basketball knew about it and would use it. Like I legit know friends, like when I was younger, and even recently someone brought it up to me, like, and they don't follow basketball at all. Like, yeah, I can't believe like this is the person that like every time I shoot something or someone shoots something, like that's who you shout out their name, Kobe. And I was like, damn, like this, like people that don't even keep up with basketball at all know about Kobe. And that just speaks volumes of his influence and impact. And then there's Kobe, the basketball player. We're looking at 5 championships, 2 finals MVP. I believe it was only 1 regular season MVP, which came in like very late in his career. And I remember that was a big deal when he finally got it.
I think it was in 2008.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Something like that. I mean, I don't know how, I can't off the bat say how many All-Stars, but multiple All-Stars, 20-year basketball career, a legend who got a serious injury, torn ACL, I believe it was, and was able to come back from it, which at the time was very rare too.
And you know what? Throughout all that time, he stayed with one franchise.
And then, yes.
Right now, with the era of the players having
player empowerment,
more power than ever in the history of NBA, Kobe has stayed with one franchise.
Yeah, and even before, during Kobe's era, like there were a lot of stars that would still jump around. I'm sure in the beginning, a lot of people thought Shaq would stay with the Orlando Magic, or even when he got to the Lakers, that he would stay with the Lakers for the rest, but not. People still moved and moved. It's Kobe Bryant who stayed for 20 years with his team, and that just speaks volume. At one point, we're not gonna lie, we're not gonna avoid and forget that he did want to get traded, but guess what? They got over it. They moved on, and he won them 2 chips. And yeah, Kobe Bryant's legacy is one of the greatest basketball players of all time, and one of the most influential, who helped push the game forward in so many ways. In my opinion, I know I started thinking about this more and more in the past 2 to 3 years, where we keep talking about Jordan versus LeBron, and whether LeBron should be considered the best basketball player of all time. 2 people that I always felt like got left out of that conversation were Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
And you can even maybe throw in Magic Johnson, because guess what? All those three figures have more championships than LeBron James right now. And Kobe is, part of the reason might be recency, because I saw him do at least the last two, but it's also that he did it in the more recent era. And as they say, basketball, the NBA just gets harder and harder with time. You feel me? So it's like, yo, he did 5 on his. Okay, we're not gonna say on his own, but he always being a big factor in those championships. So yeah, I think now I would probably put him in the top, at least in the top 10 basketball players of all time. Where would you put him?
Easily top 10. Easily top 10.
10. All right.
You can make an argument and see whether he's top 5 or not, because
Yeah.
you just named some very good players.
I was thinking that, but I would have to like really sit down and think about it.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird. To give you a couple.
Yeah.
Regarding that for the Mount Rushmore per se of the NBA, but Kobe Bryant definitely has a very strong argument, to be a top 5 for sure. Definitely top 10. No ifs, no buts, no whatsoever.
And there's people that are gonna argue that he's the best basketball player of all time. And even if I don't necessarily agree with that, the fact that he has convinced people to even believe that speaks volumes of like his game. Because guess what? If fans aren't just gonna say, oh, this person is the best basketball player of all time, if that athlete hasn't done something that makes him believe that, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And he was able to do that for hundreds, thousands of fans out there. And yeah, it's just a big loss, and his legacy will keep carrying on. And another unfortunate thing is that I even left a comment once on when the Twitter meme was happening between him and his daughter, was that I firmly believed that Gigi Bryant was going to be, or definitely had the potential to be an impactful female basketball player. I thought if she went to UConn or whatever for college, she would have brought in a level of exposure that would have been unmatched at whenever it happened in the future. And I think she could have helped grow the WNBA to new heights once if she made it to that level. You know what?
Not even with Kobe, what he was talking about. I'd like to say maybe 2 weeks before his death, he actually brought up a very interesting point, kind of opening up the
conversation.
Opening up the conversation per se for the WNBA and for women in the NBA in basketball, saying that Diana Taurasi, Maya Moore, and another player that he brought up, they can play in today's NBA. They're not gonna be stars, but if you put them in the NBA, they could play.
I see.
A role.
I didn't know about that. That's awesome.
And the way how things are opening up, maybe with the exposure of Gina being the daughter of an NBA great, Kobe Bryant, learning all the tricks. From Kobe himself.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Coaching her and her team.
That might have opened the door for possibly the first women to play in the NBA.
Oh, whoa! I did not know you were gonna go there. Ooh, maybe, that's a hot take.
That might be crazy, but
I feel you.
But
it's plausible.
If you put it into
first
context,
time I hear it, but thinking about it, I could see it being plausible.
If you put it into context, yes, women are not dunking per se, and the WNBA is not the most exciting sport to see.
But they're the most skillful they have ever been.
They got the fundamentals.
Yeah, they'll ball any one of us up.
They'll ball any one of us. They'll smoke us.
Yeah,
per se. And there's something to be said. If you could hold your own against an NBA player, like even like the scrubs. They're leagues above anybody else.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. I didn't think about it.
But that might have opened the door.
Yeah, because Kobe was a big, kind of like Ray Allen too. And I'll give Ray Allen credit for that too. Like Kobe was becoming a big voice in helping, in bringing more exposure and brand awareness to the WNBA. He would talk about it frequently in any interviews he had post his NBA, or even during his NBA career too. And it helped because he had 4 daughters.
And you know what? Somebody's gonna say, hey, look, of course he's gonna have bias against that. He has 4 daughters, but you gotta remember the type of person that Kobe is.
He even said it like those 4 daughters opened his eyes towards all seeing more things.
But Kobe's not gonna be somebody light on compliments. you know, per se. You know, if those
That's
three,
true.
if those three players garner his respect, you know, and to get, you know, his compliments,
Yeah.
because they earned it.
Exactly. He wouldn't
And-
just say shit just to say it.
And mind you, I don't know that much about the WNBA, but when it comes to that, you know, those are like gonna be like the first players, you know, that are gonna come out to me, like, you know,
Yeah.
Diana Taurasi, Maya Moore, going back to, you know, the Sparks, you know, Candace Parker.
Yeah,
per
her.
se. Those are gonna be people that are gonna be thinking about,
Yeah.
like, you know, initially with that, but possibly that might have opened
They're
the
the
door.
Jordan, the LeBrons, the Kobe's of their sport.
The pioneers per se.
Yeah.
For that, I think Kobe. Well, it already got the conversation going already with him hinting that about a week and 2 weeks. It is kind of sad that
Yeah,
we're
it's
not
a
gonna see
shame.
that. But to go with the to hop on the legacy as well is, you know, the father figure that he was of his daughter.
That's true.
You know, walking. Obviously, you know, it's like a, you know, like if you ask any dad, you know, that's like a thing. Like, you know, every dad does that. But, you know, obviously,
I
it's-
mean, to an extent, you
to
know,
an
it's not
extent,
any
but,
dad.
But it shows a different side to him. You know, the family
Yeah.
man that he is.
And I saw
know,
you
which-
seen that clip of the one of the reasons he did the whole helicopter thing was because it was cutting time with traffic, and he will use that time that he saved using the helicopters to go from location to location in California because California has crazy traffic.
Yeah, worse than Miami.
He did it so he can have time to spend with his daughter. Like, he legit said that in an interview, and that clip is going around a lot. And then it's just so sad that, like, that, I guess, full circle or whatever, the irony of, like, that being the end for him and his daughter. And yeah, and it's just crazy. Like, just 2 weeks ago, these two, I mean, not 2 weeks ago, but 2 weeks ago, the meme was still going around of these two at courtside watching the game. Him, who knows what he was telling her, but we all assumed that it was, like, you know, some insight into the game, because she was there. Like, she literally said it was there to watch NBA games and observe them, analyze them, see what the players are doing. Like, this girl was ready, yo. Like, this girl was she was literally a carbon copy of Kobe Bryant in a 13-year-old body. You feel me?
Yeah, and to be honest with you, it still hasn't hit me yet. Kobe, I thought it was fake news. You know,
Same. I was really hoping it was fake news.
I kind of low key still think about it, but obviously,
yeah. Now, like, once it got confirmed,
yeah,
but I feel you. Like, you're still like in like shock. It literally is shock. Like,
it's not fake news.
it makes no sense.
She could have been possibly the first, maybe not her, but, you know, yeah, first woman to make the NBA.
Yeah,
that would have been crazy.
So
But
shout out Kobe, man. Like, thanks for everything that you provided for us.